Hey, it's me. I'm back after like 4 months. But I'm here now, so r/BossFight 8 Escape Plan. Caspian, 150 attack, 100 defense, 6,000 health, type Sea Elemental. Caspian is a human sea elemental with many water, sea, and beach-related powers and abilities. Human elementals can be identified by the way they differ from how the power system usually works, where instead of developing their powers at around 10 to 12, they have them from birth. And also by the fact that all their powers are elementally themed. Caspian is even further set apart from even other elementals, though, through one oddball power, the ability to summon a unique mirror. Only one other person has this power, a forest elemental by the name of Nadia. 50 attack, 200 defense, 7,500 health, type forest elemental. Nadia is a human forest elemental, with all the earthy powers that come with being such a being. She does have one power that's a bit out of place, though, the ability to summon a unique portal mirror. Portal mirrors in general aren't really unique at all, in concept or in actuality, but hers is one of only 2 that have a specific quirk. When activated, it becomes a window that the holder can use to select something. Once selected, the thing in question will fade from the mirror's view, and the portal will activate, leading to a universe in which it doesn't exist. There is no known limit to what you can select. You can even pick intangible things like ideas and emotions as long as you have a good enough representation of them. Predictable or not, though, there are always some side effects/consequences of whatever change is made. You are, in essence, removing something from space-time, after all. UwUvator's oral interaction. Ever since it was found that UwUvator takes oral commands, a couple of people have spent time just trying various ones. It'll do what your average virtual assistant will do, take you to the floor you want, minus the top, and a handful of other things. For things it can't do, it just gives an error message like, "I'm afraid I can't do that," and "Sorry, but you aren't authorized to do that." After a few rapid-fire commands, though, it got frustrated and asked to just be talked to like a person. It went faster after that anyway, since they were able to work out a system to speed things up. One response in particular was of note, though. Replying to the command, "evacuate," it said, "Well, when there is something to evacuate from, bring as many people to me as you can. I'll protect them." Portal gun. This is your standard portal gun. You shoot 2 portals, creating a link between those 2 points in space. That's nice and all, but this one has something much more interesting to it. Shooting a portal at a depiction of another universe, say a television screen for instance, will make it a doorway into that universe. It only stays open for so long, though, so make sure you bring a way back, or you may be trapped there forever. Unless that's what you want, that is. President Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States. 75 attack, 400 defense, 5,000 health, type former president. Obama's main power is forming things of pure magical energy. They can be anything from a mug, to attacks, to force fields. He has complete control over the things he summons, including the ability to choose whether each thing does damage or not. His other prominent power, if you can quite call it that, is power boosts. He can't control them. He just gets them whenever he's trying to do something he feels is right and could use a boost to do it better, faster, or at all. The boost can boost his stats, physical capabilities, and the power he already has, as well as temporarily grant him extra powers. There's no known set list of powers he can gain from a boost, but they're always more standard powers like portals and telekinesis, not bizarre ones like vegetable pelting and plastic wrap shooting. Mirror of Addition. This mirror is the reverse of Caspian and Nadia's mirrors. Climbing into it takes you to a timeline where something exists that doesn't in ours. The catch is that something is locked onto a single public bathroom sink with no way to change it, since the mirror is always activated and therefore always intangible. The Eternal Forest. This little, unassuming forest pond is a gateway into another forest of indeterminate location. It's decisively not Earth, though. Or, not the same one, at least. When you jump in, the forest on the other side is lush and idyllic, with crystal clear streams, no pestering insects, and enchanting little villages. The inhabitants of the villages, and the forest in general, are humans, or something close to them anyway, and nature spirits on top of the various insects and fauna. Probably the forest's most interesting attribute, however, is that it's seemingly endless. Minus the small breaks for lakes, meadows, and the like, the forest just keeps going as far as the eye can see and beyond. Midnight. 16 attack, 20 defense. 50 health, type, cat. This cat can pop in and out of the void, as well as make her body an opening into it. When acting as a gateway between realms, Midnight can either keep her form or become some kind of little goop goblin and take any shape she likes. From within the void, she can go anywhere, presumably even beyond her universe. Escape keyboard. Whenever some sort of danger is inbound, pressing any of the numerous escape keys on this keyboard, as long as it has the energy it needs, will transport anything touching or connected to it to the nearest safe place. When getting out of dodge, it also takes chains of touch, including groups of people. Larger things like houses and theoretically planets can be taken too, as long as there's enough connection to the keyboard. The larger the object, the more connection needed. Usually this is accomplished with the help of a group of people, but they're not necessary. Sentient characters, Part 2. Though those affected by the sentient characters anomaly must stay in their universes to retain the power they received through it, they can still interact with the world outside their screen through powers like telekinesis. You, however, can go into any universe you like without consequence, probably, and it is fully within the power of affected characters to bring you into theirs. They can either turn the screen into a portal, which may or may not work depending on size, or they can just make a normal portal you can just walk through. Stairway to Heaven, Part 2. Very recently unblocked, it turns out the name Stairway to Heaven wasn't a misnomer. The realm it leads to is a dead ringer for heaven, with heavy white and gold theming, lots of white light, angels with their large, feathery wings, and, as icing on the cake, you're greeted with large golden gates directly after ascending the stairs. It also has a day-night cycle, plus forests and the like, which may not be all that heavenly, but is nice nonetheless. It's clearly not actually heaven, though, since if it were, there's no way the stairs would be that badly designed. Angels aren't the only inhabitants of this realm. There are many other life forms around. So far, everyone is friendly and has been expecting newcomers. When asked, an angel said they lifted the barrier to provide a place to evacuate to, though they did not elaborate beyond that. The Mirror of Infinite Possibilities. Usually in its idle, trippy mode, this mirror can be used to do one of two things when someone stands before it. With one use, it can either show you the most likely outcome/consequences of something, or record a message. Messages can be sent to specific iterations of a timeline, to a later point in one's own timeline, or it can be simply stored and shown to anyone in any timeline it's relevant to. There's usually an hour cooldown between uses, but whether you know it or not, if you need to use it sooner, you can. Over the years, many have tried to keep the mirror, but nobody has managed to do this for very long due to its other property. Seemingly at random, it will vanish, reappearing somewhere else, also presumably at random. Sometimes it stays for a few minutes, and sometimes it's weeks. All that's certain is that it will move. Though neither have been tested, the mirror can theoretically be used to travel to other timelines too, either through the aforementioned portal gun or by shattering it. One's more likely to work and just an all-around better idea than the other, but they're both valid. The Infinite Target. There's about a 1% chance that whenever you enter a target, you'll end up in the infinite target, and you'll always go there when entering the one shown. If you turn around before you get too far in, you'll be just fine, but at a point, the exit just turns into a way into more target. After that point, it's just chance, and a low one, whether an exit will actually be an exit or not. If you do find one, it's completely random which target you'll find yourself at, and yeah, this is pretty much just SCP-3008, but without the hostile employees, probably. The Infinite Mall. This regular-sized mall just so happens to be infinite inside, or seemingly so at least. There are several exits, but they're all where they'd be if the mall conformed to the laws of space, so if you're deep inside, you're not going to be stumbling across any exits. Being lost in here really isn't that bad, though, with food courts and stores for clothes, furniture, Hot Topic, electronics, and so on that even restock themselves every so often, plus the Wi-Fi that's all throughout the place, you can live comfortably. Being completely alone in such a large place can be unsettling at times, especially with mannequins and the like around. But if you have a friend, or anyone really, with you, the experience should be eons better. The Unopenable Door. This absurdly strong door can't be opened by any known means. The keyhole isn't even real. It can, however, be jumped through like a Super Mario 64 painting. Inside is a completely normal apartment, fully furnished, fully stocked cabinets, shelves, refrigerator, etc., running water, Wi-Fi, trash cans, sinks, and so on that turn waste into magical energy to keep the place self-sustaining, nearly indestructible walls, a button to turn the portal painting door thing on and off, secret entrances into an equally fortified giant underground labyrinth with both normal and secret passages throughout itself that's also just kind of an extension of the apartment with more bedrooms and kitchens and such, on top of all the other stuff like labs with all kinds of useful machines, libraries, swimming pools, and simulated outdoor areas. A knot in time. This clock can create a time loop. All the specifics, like how long the loop is and the area it covers, are up to whoever activates it and how much magical energy they provide. From within, outside the loop's area looks like it did during the time of the loop, but if you cross the threshold, you'll be in the present day, aging normally again. Of course, anyone within the area allotted when the loop's created is automatically inside, but those who weren't there at that moment can still get in by simply touching the clock for 6 seconds. This can be toggled on and off, but only from inside the loop. If the clock is removed from the loop's area in the past present or the future present, the loop will collapse, snapping everyone in the past present to the future present. The same will happen if the clock isn't supplied with enough energy to sustain itself. Brockett Parsons. 15 attack, 40 defense. 400 health, type, musician. Like many musician types, Brockett can make the music he plays have effects on listeners. But with a 360-degree keyboard he can summon, he has a few more tricks up his sleeve. First of all, the keyboard can hover. He can summon a stand for it, but why? Moving along, it can create an oblong force field around itself, and it can be used to teleport, both by playing something that's at least tangentially related to what he's trying to do or where he's trying to go. After playing a song, or part of one, to teleport somewhere, the keyboard will rise a little, spin, and glow brighter before vanishing in a flash of light. On top of these, he still has some locked abilities too. From lower to higher level, he can still unlock turning his keyboard into a portal and time travel. Plus, at a very high level, he can extend his portal and teleportation reach beyond his own timeline and universe. He likely won't ever level up enough to get all of these abilities, but that doesn't mean he'll never use them. With a large enough power boost, he, and anyone else for that matter, can briefly access still locked powers. High-level waterbending plus storms. A high-level waterbender and someone with storm or wind powers can combine their abilities to create a warping water tornado, a waterlogged whirlwind that will teleport anything it sucks up to wherever the destination is set. The waterbender's usual list of destinations is expanded for this combo power to include stormy or windy areas too. The same can be done with just the waterbender and a tornado found in the wild, but it's more difficult to tame a tornado than it is to create one. The fishing hole. You can fish anything from the fishing hole. Nothing ever comes back from the fishing hole. Anything can crawl out of the fishing hole, but not you. Heals all wounds. When you put your hands on this piece of public art, if you provide it with enough magical energy, it can take you to any time before the tree burned down. This time travel creates a branching timeline, so nothing you do will alter the one you came from whatsoever. Also, you won't be able to go back. The clock was fused to the tree after it burned, and even if you waited until the tree burned and the clock was attached, you can still only go backwards in time again. Sure, you can always find some other way back in a world like this, but you're not getting any help from that tree. The key to reality. Terms and conditions apply. This key will morph to match any lock it's put near, and when used, it can make any door lead to any other door you can think of. The catch is the lock has to be roughly the same size as the key, and the door it leads to has to be roughly the same size as the one with that lock. Keyboard. Another piece of public art that has a little something more to it. What it lacks in a creative name, it makes up with the wide variety of Easter eggs hidden within it. Having something on Alt and F4 at the same time makes it wink out of existence for a minute. Typing /fly allows you to do so for a few minutes, and also takes away any fall damage. Typing a happy face heals everyone nearby a little. Jumping on escape does the same thing as the escape keyboard previously mentioned, and so on. Grandfather Watch. This watch allows the wearer to time travel. No gimmicks, no conditions, no restraints. Just give it the energy it needs, think of when you want to go, and Bob's your uncle. Traveling back creates a new, branching timeline, just like Math heals all wounds, but traveling forward does not. It can also return you to your own time in your own timeline without incident. Poseidon's Orb. This orb has all the abilities of a very prestigious waterbender, able to control and summon water, grant its holder water breathing, and create whirlpool portals from one waterlogged location to another. The whirl portals can extend beyond the constraints of the universe, but doing so takes quite a bit of energy to perform. Michael. 20 attack, 222 defense, 500 health, type, exile. Hidden away in a snowy corner of the globe with his husband and daughter, Michael has the strongest portal-making device in the known universe, which is an iron. He protects himself, his family, and the iron with his high-level force field power, which allows him to cloak whatever's inside. Additionally, they have internet originating from within their own home, VPNs, and so on to keep them safe from discovery. Michael and his husband have to be very careful when out for any extended period of time, but their daughter Morgan has more freedom, being completely off the books. She came along after her parents exiled themselves. They've hidden themselves away so soundly because of the iron, or more accurately, because of the people after the iron. Since it can go practically anywhere in reality, be it across the street or across the multiverse, many people from individuals to corporations to governments want and are more than willing to take it. To keep it out of the wrong hands, they fled. Despite all this, though, they live very comfortably, in part thanks to Morgan's skill with robots and such, and she and her friend using their combined powers to make all kinds of neat and useful things. They've even begun selling some. Or you could just, go to space, find a nice planet and settle down, skip all the alternate universes or whatever and just go up. You could do that too. Model, but actually real, rocket. This rocket is well stocked, primed, and ready to go at any time. When activated and the 20-second countdown begins, anyone who touches it for 3 seconds will be shrunk down and put inside. Of course, anything on you comes with, and it takes chains of people too. Once inside, you realize that it's just like a normal rocket in all ways except size and fuel, being powered by magical energy instead. Safe Driver's Ring. This ring gives the wearer the ability to skillfully pilot any drivable vehicle and enhances all driving-related reflexes. The Glimmering Train. This lengthy, self-sustaining train can travel anywhere in the cosmos and is perfectly fit to live in comfortably. It can travel at the speed of light, plus any speed below. When in transit at light speed, or close to it, the train and everything inside it turns into pure energy, shown in the image. Beings don't remember their time as energy, but they tend to feel more peaceful and well-rested once they've returned to their normal state. Nearly the entire exterior has been enchanted to act as solar panels that turn the energy into magical energy, which is used to fuel all the train does. This includes the alchemy machines, which have the extra abilities to copy things and create things from scratch if they've been saved to the system, vending machines with a very extensive menu, a program to design and add new cars to the train in what looks like an arcade cabinet at the front, various other quality of life things like internet, plus the lights and such. And that concludes the video. I wrote the glimmering train in a Cracker Barrel. That's it. That's the entire outro. Bye. This ring gives the wearer the ability to... I sure do write ability a lot for not being able to actually say it.